From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge media production. Thank you so much for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, a.k.a. the Brown Python, Ben, a.k.a. Mexican Nostradamus, and myself, Benjamin James, here for another fantastic episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebox for the music. And the big topic of it's been the big topic for the last several weeks, is the Israel and the conflict with the Palestinians, the Gaza, the missiles, they're flying back and forth. Everybody's dying. Nobody's winning this thing. Ben, what's going on over there?
Well, it's the Armageddon playground. I mean, that's just the best way to put it. It's once again, you have aggressions from both sides, more so from Hamas versus the actual Palestinian nation. And it is a nation. I know some people would disagree with that, but they are a separate state and they should be treated so. But nonetheless, you have aggressions that have popped off between both sides. There are mass attacks on both sides. Hamas is technically the de facto military ring of the extremists in Palestine, and they're lobbing missiles at the Israelis, who are using a system known as the Iron Dome, which is intercepting over 90% of them, while the Israelis then go ahead and fire missiles at Palestine, which does not have the Iron Dome, nor does it have the glass dome or any type of dome. And basically, they're hitting every single target that they're aiming for, including a 13-story building that was housing the AP. But Israel claimed that it had Hamas in there. But the AP were pretty sure they were in there. Of course, Israel did the right thing, supposedly, I guess, by sending a message to all of them saying, we're going to bomb in an hour. You probably want to get out of there. So it's just ramped up aggressions. I mean, you have a conservative government in Israel currently. Their leaders and quite a few people in their government have been under continuous conspiracy, fraud. They've basically undergone several investigations. So, it's just another wag the dog, except in the instance of Israel and Palestine, when you wag the dog there, you could inadvertently end civilization, because for anyone who doesn't know, Israel is the home of basically sacred spots for for Christianity and Islam, and so this war has been waging on forever,
eons.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah, definitely eons. I mean, it's been there forever. So now you have just this continuous wrapping up. So, this is a very complicated thing.
This conflict, man, this one that just started. What was it? What started it? I mean,
it's basically settlements.
So
settlements are what starts these wars every single time. They keep encroaching on land that they said they wouldn't, and then these guys basically evict Palestinians that have been there for eons, literally. Yeah. And then, eventually Hamas gets pissed, does something stupid, or it's the other way around. Israel is trying to enforce their settlements, and you get bloodshed.
Hey, so it's kind of weird how you mentioned wag the dog, because actually I heard it the other way around on the Palestinian side, where the president was supposed to have held elections, and he canceled them because allegedly he thought he was going to lose the election, so he canceled the election. It's already been delayed by 6 months now. And so they were about to hold one. He canceled it again. People got pissed. And then he started shooting rockets at Israel as a form of wag the dog, so to speak.
Well, but you can't say that, because Hamas is a separatist group. Hamas is not Palestine.
Well,
and Palestine is not Hamas. I mean,
you have two political parties.
That's not a good way to say that. You know what I'm
saying?
You
have a Hamas, you have Fatwa.
Right.
All right. So it's like the Republicans and the Democrats, but they both hate the same person, Israel. You have two political parties over there, and one party, the Fatwa, which is who the president is right now. I think he's part of the Fatwa party. I'm not sure. Anyway, the president was supposed to lose the election this time around to another terrorist or whatever, and he canceled that. So as in a way to get the attention away from the people, the anger, he started shooting rockets at Israel. Hamas comes back and says, I hate Israel more, start shooting rockets at them. And so that's the way I heard it on the news. But of course, Israel also Netanyahu has his own political problems too. I mean, this
several.
guy,
I mean, he's been under investigation several times.
Several times, exactly. And so this may be another way for him to kind of delay those investigations by, participating in some sort of a war where all of Israel hates Palestine. Anyway.
Well, right, and it did. So this is unfortunately not just about Palestine and Israel. This is about probably pretty bad politicians on each side that don't mind giving up their own, basically sacrificing human beings to maintain their political power. I mean, it's about as bad as it gets, right? I mean, it's about as nasty and dirty as it gets. And whether you're pro-Palestinian or pro-Israeli, this is not just about the Holy Land. This is not just about, good or right, up or down, the right or the norms. This is about corruption and political instigation. So attaching your personal feelings about the birth of the Israeli state or the separation of Palestine, you really got to take a look at your leaders. And I mean, this probably comes from a person that lives in the United States who, take a look at our leaders. But, I think a lot of people bank on the fact that, this war is about what they believe fundamentally to be God-given rights. And it's really not. And it is so sad how many people have been killed. Thousands of years of this shit. I mean, crusades, everything from the Balfour Agreement to
the Philistines.
1956. Yeah. Yom Kippur. I mean, you can go all day long talking about all this. And in the end, where are we at now? No closer to peace. And every time these two go to war, it threatens stability, not only in the region, but the whole world.
So here's how you have a really bad government is when your political leaders are given the option of creating an actual state where Israel's going to give up land, and they reject it because they don't have a Jerusalem. Okay. You're being given the opportunity to create your own separate state. Okay. Free from occupation. Okay. Where if someone were to invade your state, it is a literal war. Okay. And they rejected statehood because he couldn't get Jerusalem. Can you believe that? I mean,
I think, no, there's multiple, and this is on Israelis too, because there's multiple attempts to have, this is going to sound crazy, but to have, not nationalized almost, but universalized Jerusalem. That being Jerusalem is not part of either one. That it's more of an international city. Right.
Neither of those two factions would ever accept that. That's right. That's one thing they might agree on, actually.
Right. But there was attempts to try to internationalize that city. That was one of the first. That was one of the kind of the more other thoughts that the UN would just take Jerusalem, and both sides could, no one could really mess with the military might, of the United States. But the United States didn't back that plan. Had the United States had isolated Jerusalem from those two areas and basically created the buffer zone,
kind of like Singapore is a city.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. And had they done that, we may not have this problem, because then we would be the wall,
right? But it's like when you got two kids that are fighting for the same toy. What do? You
take away the fucking toy.
Take away the fucking toy. There you go.
Fucking bad. Hey, you let me know when Jesus or somebody else comes back. Hey man, we'll give them the city, but guess what? Today is not the fucking ride, and it's pretty crazy to me.
But you know what though? Here's the thing. I'm not sure what their Palestinian leaders are thinking, but for you to give up an opportunity for statehood because you don't have Jerusalem, if this had been the Chinese that were given this option, you know what they'd do? They'd say, yes, give me the fucking land, and I'm going to win the war in inches. Okay? 3 or 4 generations from now, we would have been closer to Jerusalem and taken it over. That's how you think. That's a long-term game. That's how you conquer. But these assholes.
But that's not. But Israel's already 10 steps ahead, though. Because remember,
you can always get ahead, man.
No, they will not allow those people to become citizens. They will not allow those people to have any political rights at all. and even in the two-state solution, technically Palestine was still going to be almost a subordinate of Israel, and they would still not have any real political power. See, Palestine has on several occasions said they would unify in a sense, or just basically be the two-state solution, but they would want political power in the Israeli Senate and government. But they won't. Israel doesn't want anything to do with that. They don't want to legitimize them at all. They just want to have basically a second-rate class group of individuals. See, there is no compromise with Israel. That's the problem too. And I'm not saying Palestine's clean, by any means. They've achieved their problems. They've done their evils too. But this is where we're at.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up. But no, there's got to be a solution to this. You're right. Maybe they should, remove Jerusalem from the crew, from the area. No, not completely nuke it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God!
No, have the UN take it over. Make it an international city. Something.
Right. Well, they just like you said, separate. Maybe just burn it all down. Right?
Hey,
just burn that fucker down, and then you don't have to kill people. But just burn down all the buildings, all the sacredness, and just get rid of it and say, "Hey guys, this is what you get for being dicks." I mean, at some point we have to really think of real solutions because this shit's still happening. I mean, the first Crusades were launched around the 11th century, right? I mean, fuck, we're going on 1,000 years of this shit.
Yeah, literally.
And we still can't figure this shit out. So guess what? Game over. Fuck it. Just start the tanks at the West Bank and roll them all the way through. And then there's nothing for you to fight over anymore. Get over it. Yeah. Grow up. Because this is getting ridiculous. Because every time this shit pops off, we have to worry about our lives. Everyone has to worry about our security. You get the trumped up Christians freaking the fuck out like, oh, I'm behind Israel and God, Jesus is going to come back after the great war between, it's just like, it's not how
that's not how that works.
It's not how it works, guys. This is not how it ends. This is not how it begins. Guess what? It's just another fucking city. And if you really think that your spirituality is based on a geographic region, you need to double check your spirituality because you're kind of sound like a prick.
Yeah, and it highlights the futility of a war or a conflict based on religious beliefs.
Yeah, geographic. It's just a fucking. It's like, well, my God is here. Well, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. If your God is everywhere.
No, it's in Jerusalem. No.
Yeah, he's right there. And
he's in Golgotha.
This is a teaser for
the shit demon.
Yo, check this out. We're not there yet, but this is a teaser for the party in the back.
I got a teaser for you.
We may, man. Let me unzip and we'll tease everybody with this. Start wagging this dog around.
Oh, whoa!
But if I may. If we get to June, ain't nobody going to give a shit about any of this. No. If so anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. You just got to stick around, man, after we hit this break. We ain't hit a break yet.
I'm just
saying
no.
We got plenty.
Off.
We got a lot popping off.
So much popping off. I mean,
I just wanted to say, like I said, this may all be all for naught. Yep. If we find out what we think we're going to find out in a month or so, you know what
fucking 100. And the crazy thing is, but here we are, we're talking about these two groups fighting over just what really is just kind of ridiculous, right?
And the thing is not that big. Jerusalem.
No, it's not even the size of Texas.
No. Like the holy sites.
Yeah.
The domes, the stairs. Yeah, it is. They're small, dude.
Oh, bro. Jerusalem is fucking small. It's not even like the size of our panhandle, I don't think.
Nope. No. It's not even like the size of Edo in Houston, okay? That's how small it is.
Exactly.
Like the main city.
Edo, bro.
Edo. Yeah,
I mean, it's a couple of blocks, though. I mean, the old city, I'm talking about the walled city, is small.
It is.
Hey, shout out
whole
to
state
Edo way before people started calling it Edo.
Edo.
You know what I'm saying? What? Anyway, I could go to a whole nother shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
Back then it was called a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, back when it was called like Paper Street from Fight Club.
Oh fuck, that place was rough.
When my band used to practice. Anyway,
nice, Franciscan.
That's right, bro.
But so moving on to another group of people that are fighting regarding some craziness is so the CDC has released a whole new set of rules regarding masks.
Yay!
And right, and
America.
So for everyone to be filled in, unless you're under a rock and haven't seen all these like truckers out there with their Confederate flags running around hooping and hollering because they don't have to wear a mask anymore.
They never did though, bro.
I know. No, but even they didn't. They still show off. They're like, I don't have to wear it. Right. You never did, you motherfucker. So,
hey, you know that I could never find a Confederate mask.
Some of the things you say. I'm so happy we record far away from each other because sometimes I could just give you a good kick in the nuts. So anyway, CDC's released brand new thing saying if you've been vaccinated, you no longer have to wear a mask. And with that comes the concept of the honor system. If you're not wearing a mask, you're basically saying you've been vaccinated and no one's really checking unless you're in some weird states like New York or California where you have to it's stupid, but that's not in most regular states. Yeah,
they scan your arm like when you go into Chuck E. Cheese and leave with your kids. Like that ultra.
Well, no, fucking New York. There's an app you have to upload to the cloud that then you have to show your medical records to like if you wanted to go to a Yankees game. You have to show someone your medical records that you've been vaccinated.
It's like a Q. What do they call those things? The little Q scan?
Yeah, QR code. Like, QR code.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking madness. So
it's like I told you. Like remember a bunch of episodes I told you about my my neighbor who used to live in Qatar. Mm-hmm. That they had that shit in place. Anyway, go ahead, man.
Isn't that crazy? No. I feel you. Like I remember that story. That's what's happening here to people. So anyway, CDC saying. You've been vaccinated. You don't have to wear a fucking mask. And I find this is the most hilarious thing in the world. So you have individuals that have been saying the whole time, follow the science. That's why we wear masks. That's why we're social distance. Now the science says you don't have to wear a mask. And the crazy shit is people are saying, well, I'm upset with the CDC. I think they did it too early.
They're freaking the fuck out, man.
But you're like, wait. Right? That's the science. That's the CDC.
Yo, that's the science.
But since it doesn't, fit their narrative, and I'm not anti-vaxxer by any ways. I social distance. I think I was social distancing before social distancing because I really don't fucking like people that much.
You did it before it was cool.
Yeah, I don't even like fucking people.
100%, bro.
Yeah, dude, you know me. I don't fucking like people. Fuck people. So
it's more actually the more accurate way to put that is they don't like you.
Very true. Which is this is a everyday concept.
This is way more realistic.
I'm kind of talking to all the people that like me right now. So, and even then, that's a half and half. That's a half and half thing. That doesn't always happen all the time. Yeah. Sometimes you guys
from blood
exactly.
Aside from blood relatives,
that's it.
Two guys.
Basically, it. Don't have a wide reach of
people who like
friendly places to go here. Yeah. But anyways, beyond my depressing life, fuck y'all. Y'all the same way. So,
hey, I love you, bro.
But wait, I love you too. So, when the CDC says this shit, now people are actually against it. And so I find it fucking crazy. I'm looking at my Facebook feed, which luckily I've been so blessed to have friends from both angles, right? Friends from the left and friends from the right. And the friends from the right were like throwing they're like Yosemite Sam firing pistols in the air, shit like that. But my friends from the left were like, the CDC is being very, very irresponsible. But it's like, wait. Just 2 weeks ago, if the CDC told you had to be 15 foot from someone, standing, doing a handstand to talk
and you were okay with that.
You're good. But now they say take away the mask, and no, that's not okay. And so it just goes to show you the indoctrination on both sides, right? I mean, I've been one to talk a lot of shit about how the right, but now the left is like, oh no, we got to keep our mask.
Well, what is it though? Is it just posturing? Are they trying to?
Yeah.
Bro, they're picking teams now.
Yeah,
it's team
bro.
mask
Yeah.
and team no mask.
Yeah.
And you can't see beyond these fucking little things.
100.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mask, no mask. You simplify it to these basic fucking terms with every goddamn issue right down the middle, and it has to be split 50-50 one side or the other. This is where you get into the fucking the idiocracy of it, where you're sitting there arguing over these stupid fucking points and you're not listening to reason whatsoever. The CDC is the ones that you deemed this is exactly what you just said. I'm not like fucking breaking new ground here. But yeah, the CDC, that's the science. That's the ones that are looking into this. That's the ones that are making the recommendations that are based on science. And they are saying, you know what? You don't need a mask. No. I'm already on team fucking you wear a mask until we fucking all go down and burn in hell. That's all it is, man.
Hey,
Fuck this bullshit, dude.
Burn in hell. I love it.
Or whatever.
You know,
fuck, I don't
Eternal
know.
damnation.
Eternal damnation. Yeah,
So-
man. You know what the weird part is? I actually went to Academy today, this afternoon,
Nice.
Did you?
and I got
Sports
off
and
my car.
outdoors.
Huh? Yeah,
Academy
Academy Sports and
Sports.
Outdoors. Yeah,
Hey,
really
yeah.
great
For
store.
sponsors, Academy. We
for the
got
hey, the right
demos.
place.
So I
right
walked
place, the
in.
right price.
I'm dealing with my kids here. You know, they're acting a fool, whatever. So I walked into the store and I forget my mask, right? And I'm like, holy shit, I forgot my
No,
mask.
you didn't fucking forget it.
The lady at the store was like, no. That's it. No, you don't need a mask. Really? Like, no, just walk in. That's it. It's over. I'm like, holy shit, dude. So I start walking around the store. I'm like,
Just-
you know,
it's over,
I was
it's
like
over,
kind of
bro.
timid. You know, is someone going to jump me here? What's going on? And it was just weird to be walking around the store without a mask. You know, it's been ingrained into your head. It felt strange.
Right.
Yeah.
But in a good way. But I don't know, I couldn't explain it. But walking around, it felt like I was naked almost, basically, because I was walking around without a mask. People were looking
No,
at
it's-
me.
Yeah.
You know, the mask
right.
wearers were looking at me.
Yeah.
No, it is weird.
Yeah. So you know what I started doing is don't make eye contact with people. I just fucking just look straight. Don't make eye contact with anybody.
Why would you?
You're like
yeah,
on
why
the New
would you
York
interact?
subway and shit.
Bro.
Don't make eye
Yes,
contact.
dude. Yes. That's how
Hey.
that's how I'm gonna approach this. I'm not gonna wear a mask because it's not required anymore. But the assholes who are
Right.
still wearing a mask who are judging me, I'm not gonna look at them in the eye. Just
Right.
fucking keep staring straight, man. It's just blinders.
Avoid conflict. Avoid conflict.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
dude, it's like they're staring at you like you're naked or almost.
You know what's funny too? Yeah, like you feel you feel like you're a goddamn like Trump supporter if you're not wearing a mask. Like I went to go
Dude.
get donuts and I legit forgot my mask and I was just like, man, fuck it. Like I'm just walking in here because this is gonna take me all of 45 seconds. I know 100% for a fact they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because people are in there all the time with that, especially where I'm at. People the mask mandate is flimsy where I'm at.
Oh,
Let's just say
bro.
that, okay?
I can't believe you guys are
Probably
actually
more-
still wearing masks
Bro,
where
probably
you're at.
yeah, where
Yeah,
where
fuck,
you're at
North
it's
Texas.
probably-
Fuck off. We
even
haven't
worse,
worn
yeah.
masks since this whole time.
No, I know.
I was the
just
one that everyone looked at me,
Bro.
bro. Like that little feeling you felt, Rick, that was me the whole time. I wore a mask for like, oh, fucking pussy. You
Was a
fucking
Biden
commie.
supporter.
Huh?
No, for
Huh?
sure.
You're gonna get one of them Bill Gates vaccines? Fucking asshole. I mean, we literally
Bill Gates.
our fucking vaccine lines have been non-existent the whole time.
Yeah.
No
Get a
reason to
vaccine
come
here,
begging and
you
shit.
could just like they're begging. Like I was telling y'all earlier, like, and we'll get into this more. They're busing high school kids to go get vaccines out here. That's how
Yeah.
many they're wasting out here.
Bro, I'll tell you this, man. A little anecdote. So, I got mine or whatever. My company is giving them, but I didn't even get them through that. I got them through. I have family members that work for one of the hospital systems here in town, and each employee got like 5 people. So, all the people that were like,
You got it early on.
I got it early on, man. More
Yeah.
people that were severely at risk. Everybody was covered, right? Because I have, like I said, in my immediate family, I have a handful of people that work for this particular hospital system that was offering per employee, like 5 people you could put on a list. So I was like, fuck it, man. Why not? I guess, and initially, dude, you can go back in the podcast and you can talk shit because we were sitting here, we were talking some pretty serious shit about this vaccine. But you know what? I'm going on record. Fuck it. I did it, man. I got jabbed in the arm 2 times. I'm all vaxxed out. So whatever, I can do whatever I want. I'm all vaxxed out. I can get a passport. I can go to Fiji. I can do whatever I want, man. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, maybe we'll see. But I guess technically, if it gets to that point, I guess I'm good. But I may turn into, a lizard critter. Yeah, I might turn into a lizard person, but we'll see. That'll be interesting for the show. And that was my whole rationale. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just chronicleize the metamorphosis of my transition. You like that sentence?
I fucking love that. Chronicleize.
Chronicleize.
I too have been vaxxed out. I too have been
transitioning.
Oh, but like, hold on, just real quick. Just the story I was going to tell was a coworker of mine, a good friend, was recently had an interaction with a couple of higher ups in our company, and very much felt the pressure she did of them saying, "Oh, well, it's available. Aren't you going to go ahead and go do that right now?" It's like, no, no, I'm not. I'm going to actually just go ahead and go to lunch or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Whatever she was going to do. And they're like, oh, well, like, in other words, that's another thing. This pressure that, like Ben said, they're busing people to get vaccinated. They're high school, like kids, how do you feel about that? Because I guess for on the one hand, yes, I get the public. What's the word to say? Sort of the public agenda, right? To get as many people vaccinated as you can. But from a personal liberties standpoint, it's tough. It's tough, man, because this is something that was approved emergency level. This wasn't a normal. This is a little bit different, right? Than like anti-vaxxers. So you can't really categorize somebody who's like, no, I'm not really ready to get this vaccine, in the same category as somebody who's like, no, I'm not going to take my kids to get the polio vaccine. It's a little different.
No, it's wildly different. It is, man. I think that needs to be more and more understood, that there's a lot of dumbasses that don't get their children vaccinated. And I will flex the word dumbass, because you are stupid. Your child needs to be vaccinated. You're a fucking moron if you don't vaccinate your child against measles, mumps, rubella, all the normal things. If you don't do this, you should be castrated, or you should not have children. Right. So I'm just putting that out there. You're stupid.
Right. Hey, when are they going to come up with the herpes vaccine? Anyway, bro, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Someone needs that shit.
Go ahead.
But in the end, though, like, this is totally different than.
It's different because they're, those other vaccines have a track record. They've been around for decades.
Yeah.
I said in the last show, the ones had this vaccine in their veins for more than a year.
Right.
So,
well, they're crucial for life, though, right? Polio, small. That's crucial for life. And I'm definitely not trying to piss on the individuals that have lost people due to COVID or complications of COVID or whatever it is. But this isn't polio,
Yeah.
This isn't mumps. Mumps to children literally sterilize them as they're adults. This isn't whooping cough. This isn't that. Right? This isn't meningitis. This isn't pneumonia. This isn't these things.
So the vaccine pressure from work, what do you think, man? Should employers force their employees to take the vaccine, like what Benjamin was talking about? It sounded like what Benjamin was describing right now was like that scene from Office Space, where it's like, oh, so you're going to add flair, right? Well, I have the flair. Do you want me to add more? Well, we encourage our employees to add more flair, but I have the minimum. Well, if you want to be the minimum, then, but we always encourage our employees to add more flair.
Right.
They didn't tell her to do it. They didn't order her, but they encouraged her in a strong manner. So maybe
Right.
that's what employers are going to do for the COVID vaccine. They're going to encourage you strongly to get it.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
You
It's
know.
already going right now. Hell, they got states giving out, Ohio's giving 5 people that have been fully vaccinated $1 million. The pressure is there, which, to me is kind of spooky, right?
What's the news propaganda you heard about already?
What? Which
About
part?
erectile dysfunction?
Oh yeah. Like I loved it. I posted this shit on Facebook. 0 likes. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing because I even said, I was like, "Good luck, fellas." But you
Nobody
hear this
liked it.
pressure, right? It's bullshit. You hear, so this once again is kind of going back to what I've been talking about this new development of this medical industrial complex. There's so much pressure to take these vaccines, and we'll touch a little bit on part of the back about my other thoughts regarding it, but this is big business, right?
We will. Yes, we will.
This is big business. This is billions of dollars that these shop makers are making. And they're pushing, everyone's being pushed to take these vaccines. And it's just madness. So like I said, like, they said the other day, you can get erectile dysfunction. If you get COVID, your wee-wee won't work. If you get COVID, you'll do this. If you get COVID, you'll do that. It's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's like every bad thing. Remember, snake oils. The snake oil salesman, they'll say, hey, if you take this snake oil, it'll heal your cancer. It'll do this. It'll do that. Well, if you take a COVID, that's what the COVID shot's kind of reminding me of. If you take a COVID shot, it's going to keep you from, being limp Rick. Or just,
It's gotta be Rick.
I saw his name. It was the first thing. We're on Zoom and I can see his moniker on here. It's a pretty interesting one. Big Dick Rick. And so I was like, limp Rick. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, they're threatening everything. I mean, I'm just waiting for them to just say, and I think the reason why they haven't said it, and I'm not trying to be controversial, but they basically just said like, hey, if you don't take the COVID vaccine, there's a greater chance you're going to turn gay. I mean, that's basically where if it wasn't probably so anti-woke and horrible to say, they would have said it by now, because they're figuring out every way to pressure people to take this fucking shot.
Well, it's kind of like when code first came out. When it first came out, it was just like everything under the sun. If you had a symptom, you have the sniffles, you might have COVID. You have a headache, you might have COVID. Oh, you don't have any symptoms? You still have COVID.
Right.
Like, well, what the fuck, man? Like,
exactly.
What?
I think we lost Ben. I think Ben can't handle the kickoff.
I can't handle the truth, bro.
The truth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. I think I lost Ben on the kickoff, man. As soon as I said, he's like, oh, fuck. He almost lost his shit over there. But you're right. You're right. What do we do? Right? At the beginning of COVID, it was a sniffle. It was this. It was that. And now, if you don't get the COVID vaccine, you're gonna be non-viral. You won't be. You're gonna
be. You're not gonna.
I mean, it's
dick's not gonna
crazy.
work. You're not gonna have any friends.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to wear a mask.
You're killing.
Look at you weird.
It's fucking. It's madness. It's fucking madness. And now it's like, we can give it to your kids now. Whoa! And that's where I pump the brakes. Like, look, man.
Right.
I'm not saying that my ride. I don't want my ride on this earth to be done any sooner. But I've at least had a kind of a ride, right?
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong, at least I did some shit in my life, right? But to try to start giving it to children, this is fucking madness.
You don't even know what it does, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't understand. Kids don't. I mean, and I'm not. And knock on wood, I have children. I love them, and I pray that nothing ever bad happens, just like we all do. But the numbers don't show it being an extremely dangerous thing to children. So why the fuck are we going to give them something that's not even proven, like completely proven? It's still not FDA approved. Why are we going to give that to kids? Millions upon millions of them without knowing what it could do.
Yeah. It hasn't gone through the proper channels of approval.
Nope. And it's scary. It's scary. And as a parent, if you say no, if someone says, "Oh, you're part of the problem," no, tell them no, you're part of the fucking problem. Because you're not. Because guess what? Everyone needs to be able to make those type of choices. Now, once again, I'm trying to make big difference between the morons that try to say, you know, mumps, measles, all that shit. Hey, you're a dumbass. Get your child vaccinated for that. But when it comes to experimental vaccines with brand new technology developed by DARPA, which we will touch back in a little bit regarding.
DARPA.
No, it did. You know, that's where the mRNA vaccines were created, was from DARPA. This is a military project, guys. And we're just fucking shoving them in our arms. Why? Because we're being told it's okay.
Yeah. I've always thought, like, you know those parents who took their kids to get the vaccine when it was still in its early phases. Mm-hmm. You know, they were bringing their kids in for the trials, and I'm thinking to myself, man, these kids are 12 years old. Like, who are these parents? Well, it's the same fucking parents that take their kids to like drag queen story hour and shit like that, you know?
Oh, wow. First off, did not know this was a story hour available.
Yeah, there is.
Oh boy,
there is. It's all over the place. They have it here in Houston all the time.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm just saying, dude.
Drag queen story hour?
Drag queen story hour. You never heard about that?
No. Oh my god. No.
Yeah, they have actual drag queens read to kids at the libraries, and these parents are so woke that it's so beautiful. Wow, their kids need to be more cultured.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, it's the same guy. It's the same guys who take their parents to get the vaccine, take their kids to get experimental vaccine in trial phases. So
there went our Chipotle sponsorship.
Chipotle.
Why Chipotle?
I don't know. This is the first that they get to mind.
Chipotle is woke as fuck.
Yeah,
dude.
man. We lost Chipotle, guys. We lost Chipotle. We lost Starbucks. It's just not going to happen for us, guys. We were supposed to get free coffee for life. You fucked that up, Rick.
Yeah, we fucked that all up.
Nah.
Oh, my God.
I had to say what I had to say about story hour. Story hour, man.
But nonetheless, this is crazy. This is crazy. This vaccine pressure is stupid. It's dumb. And especially since it's already showing that, like, with half the people basically vaccinated, this shit's basically stopped. It's halted. The fuck, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
take it out. Start working on it like you normally would.
Yeah. What are we doing here then? Like, you know, and then you look at India, right? You look at other countries that have these mass all of a sudden infection rates.
Their vaccine rates aren't that.
No, they're getting up there. Yeah, they're getting up there.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The vaccine was. Let's talk about why it was approved for emergency use for old people.
Was this before or after Drag Queen Story Hour?
It was after, I think, after Drag Queen Story Hour. But it was approved for old people, the sick, the infirm, the elderly. This is who it was for, because you wanted to lower the hospitalization rates. So after you've done that, after you've vaccinated all those people, our parents and everything, why is it still around for emergency use? And now you're giving it to young people and kids, right? So
right,
it doesn't have to be there. India hopefully would have rolled out something similar to where their elderly, infirmed get vaccinated first, and they would have put this thing to rest. You wouldn't have the hospitalization rates you get right now. Yeah, but you would still get COVID cases, but it'd be among the old, the young, and I guess the middle age who could still take it.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I mean, besides, why would India not have vaccines or a shortage of it? They create drugs over there.
Well, that's causing the possible shortage that's about to occur right now, because India's like, well, we making this shit, we're keeping it, and we're giving it to our people. That's what they said. I mean, they said, exactly, fuck y'all guys. I mean, you guys can figure your shit out. We got like a serious problem going on over here. You know, we have a dilapidated medical system. We are the nightmare scenario. So, you know, I think we're really at this weird crux, but the vaccine pressure we're facing here in the United States and them wanting to give it to kids, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I think it's just stupid, and it's
weird, right? It's
ridiculous.
It's too manufactured.
Yes.
It's like it's too transparent. They're really forcing this on people. Why?
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, every study lately has come out. Like I said, and we kept referencing the erectile dysfunction, but there's been multiple. It says, blood clots if you get COVID. Oh, if you get COVID, you could you may be more prone to raping people. I mean, they're coming up with a new study every day. How if you caught COVID, you basically become like an impish demon. Like it's kind of getting to the point where you're like, yeah, it's like, wait, what? Like, if this shit's the boogeyman, right? And this thing's ran through, and I don't care if this bullshit. CDC called it right 9 months ago when they said that thing had ran through 10% of the population. COVID's ran through about, in my opinion, has ran through 75% of the population. The numbers we're seeing of the ones that have died has been after this shit's gone through 75% of the world's population. It's hitting some large population centers now, so it'll clear up and go basically through the whole world pretty soon. But the numbers don't make sense. If you look at how many people have died versus how many people have truly been infected and how many people have touched COVID, you kind of start thinking, well, shit. It's just a very virulent disease. It spreads easily. And it can get to everybody. So I don't know. To me, it's just we keep pushing this bullshit, and now we're gonna throw our kids into it, man. We're gonna throw our fucking kids into it, and these kids are gonna start getting vaccinated, man. And we don't know what it's gonna do. We're gonna have kids walk around.
We actually agree on stuff.
I know. We have kids walking around with dicks growing out their asses, man, and that's just not cool. No one likes that.
Yeah, damn, dude. We agree on a lot of things on this show. What's going on?
What's going on?
Tune out.
You know why?
I think you're starting to sound like a Republican.
No, I think
honestly.
No.
Like a conservative.
No. I sound like an educated person. See, you are finally coming around to that too.
Common denominator. Who knew? Huh? Fucking logic and reason. Whoa. What a concept. Holy
I think it's because it's health. It's health, right? It's fucking health. We don't want to die. We want to live. I mean, while you look at all this fucking craziness in the world, we don't want to die. So we're going to use our most logical precepts to keep us alive, right? You don't see, but everything else is just, whatever. But we both know.
Also, we haven't politicized medicine here. We're kind of pretty much on an even plane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to politicize medicine in a couple of days when it regards to the Supreme Court case taking up Roe versus Wade again. I mean, that could be an interesting that's another politicization of medicine. But yeah, that's for another show. We really got to wait for the outcome of that before I can really get into it, because it's going to be interesting to see how the conservative justices take that on.
Well, dude, okay. Here's the thing now. What are these conservative Republicans going to say when my choice, my body, or my body, my choice doesn't apply to pregnancy, but it applies to the COVID vaccine?
Oh, nope. Disconnect. That's the blue screen. That's the blue screen, bro.
I mean, is there going to be breaking the Matrix now?
It is, bro. It is.
You remember in Total Recall?
It's like when Neo stopped that shit. Just
no. Hey, you remember in Total Recall when they're trying to get past and Arnold disguises as that heavy woman, and she's like,
"You mean that big
2 weeks? Like, how long are you staying on Mars?" She's like, 2 weeks. 2 week. And it's all fucked up like Short Circuit. That's what's gonna happen.
Johnny Five's alive.
Yeah.
Dude, but that's how it's going down.
Weeks.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen,
movie, bro. I love that movie. So many people get murked in that movie. Aliens get murked. Humans get murked.
And then Mars becomes this beautiful place at the end. How wonderful.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Who knew?
This is so much bullshit. Mars is always going to be a shithole. But in the end, though, I mean, that's where we're at, right? We got shitty vaccines. We got abortions about to go back under the knife of the law. God,
Yeah, we have
that was
Amazon.
pretty rough. That's a
like
pretty
that.
rough. We got Amazon fucking jacking
love
keys from voting boxes.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. What happened
what's
there?
going on?
So we
Oh.
brought this up on a previous show. The vote to unionize the what was the name of the town? Shit, in Alabama.
Alabama.
Bessemer.
That is a
Bessemer,
town,
Alabama.
right? Isn't it a town in
Well,
Alabama?
it is. It's a big ass town. It's a town. It's a town state.
Is it Greenbow,
Bessemer, Alabama. That's where it was a big Amazon warehouse.
It's Bubba Shrimp, right? Isn't it something?
But yeah, Bubba Shrimp. That's
It's Captain Dan's boat. That's Captain Dan's boat.
Yeah. Good thing our Alabama listenership is nil. So
No, good thing they have a
Keep
good sense
talking.
of humor, right?
they do. You know what? That's what I found. Alabamians have a great sense of humor.
They
And
they
whenever
know
people
they
throw
know where
jabs at
Captain
'em-
Dan's ship is. They know where it's at.
That's right.
They know where it's at.
But anyway, so they voted right to unionize this this warehouse or this hell, I don't know, hub.
To unionize the
whatever.
it's
Unionize,
a
right.
warehouse.
So, but where the ballots were kept, the man had a little key. So suspicion has arisen. What they do, man? They dig in that thing, or is this thing completely manipulated? Because honestly, there's nothing stopping it from being that, right? If they had the key to this thing
at all.
It behooves Amazon to manipulate this thing. Obviously,
boy.
They have a vested interest. I'm just saying, it's
Man.
interesting. It sidesteps the, I guess, integrity of the fight for human rights or the workers' right. I'm sorry, workers' rights.
Same thing.
Listen, I don't want to get too crazy. It is the same thing,
Thanks.
but more specifically, workers' rights. I'll be
So would
fair.
you say that maybe there was voting irregularities that occurred during this whole process?
No. Don't be trying to drag your shit out of here, okay? You know I don't hear about that shit.
No, I'm just showing. Just showing, maybe. Hey, you know what?
Fair play. It's fair
not
play.
fair
It really
play.
is.
It's
Fair play. That was a foul ball. That shit was
man.
so far of the line you couldn't even.
No,
that shit
man.
wasn't even callable.
I'm just saying, you can't just say that. There's no proof of voting.
Yeah, there is proof. There is
voting
proof.
fraud.
There is
There's no
proof
proof
in Amazon.
of.
There is
No, there isn't. No,
There is
there
proof.
isn't.
It was me.
You can't say that.
My prediction was wrong. I'm not wrong. Okay,
Oh, wow.
I knew that shit was
Wow.
called. I made that
Man.
prediction, and all of a sudden we were all shocked when
Oh.
it didn't go that way.
Dude,
So,
call
no.
Sidney Powell for the Kraken, man.
I was right. I know I'm fucking right. They fucking voted to have the union, and guess what? Those fucking little greasy,
Oh, wow.
grubby hand fucking guards
Oh,
started
boy.
ganking ballots and fucking putting in their own shit.
Oh, really?
Dude,
No,
it
there's no
was
evidence of
a
wrongdoing.
fix. It was a
Federal
fix.
judges have already said that
Whoa,
nothing has
pump the
happened.
brakes. Pump the brakes. No federal judges have looked into this. Okay. All right,
Oh,
look.
I'm talking about the Trump one. I'm sorry.
That-
about
well,
that.
we
Yeah.
already knew about the Trump one
Yeah.
because he's in Florida right now, jerking off alligators. All I'm saying is, this is really, really. This is now the fact that they had the keys to a mail. It was actually a mailbox, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
where's the evidence of wrongdoing?
So they shouldn't have had the keys to this. The mail carrier was supposed to be the only person that had the keys to it. So this goes a little deeper than the appearance of it. So Amazon kind of stole this shit.
Oh my God, he stole the election. Amazon stole the election. Oh my God, dude.
No, bro. This is a real.
Oh, you
this
can't,
was real.
you can't
Okay,
do that. Okay, you
this
can't do
is
that.
real. Yes, you can.
No, it's not real.
Amazon stole that shit. Amazon stole it because you know what? Jeff
Either
Bezos
elections
was like,
are legit or they're not. I mean,
Nope.
come on.
Nope, Jeff Bezos. Oh, fucking shithead over here. Oh, months.
What?
Jeff Bezos has probably got a new girlfriend. He can't take the unionization. It's gonna take out. If he divorces this other chick, he's gonna lose another half. So, nah, bro. Sorry, man. Sorry, bro. Nope.
Nah, dude. No, you know what?
This has been wrangled.
Call Sidney Powell. She can release a Kraken on these guys. Talk about
Right.
voting machines and shit.
Sydney Powell. You fucking love fucking Sydney Powell. I can't stand her. She's just, oh, God, that was another one of those maggots that came out of that whole situation. But in the end, I mean, that
I mean,
vote
there's
really
potential, but did it happen? We don't
It
know.
did.
There's no
Because
no, there
that
isn't.
doesn't make any sense, right?
Hey,
Why would
people don't want to
you?
unionize. It's a
Why
southern state.
not?
It's a southern
Why?
state. They don't want those
Makes no sense.
northern union. They don't want Jimmy Hoffa running their shit. I mean,
Dude,
come on.
Railroads are all fucking unionized. They run through the north, south, east, and west, right?
Yeah, because they have to.
United Auto Workers, tons of plants in the south. They're all unionized.
Right. And the reason they open up all these plants in the South, and the reason why the South generally has taken off and the populations have increased, because businesses see the opportunity, the fact that it's not unionized, and they come down here and it's a good opportunity to, it's bigger
Rape
profits,
workers.
right?
Yeah, rape workers.
Right. You can, there's a case to be made there.
No, and then
that's kind of what I was getting at. Is it's not a accident.
They're right to work states.
Right, exactly.
They're right to work states.
It's not an accident.
States.
It's not an accident that the populations in the South are growing more rapidly than other parts of the country. Yes, because there is a shift for businesses to come down here, particularly Amazon, obviously, and taking advantage of the local laws that govern business practices, not having to worry about unions, right? But the bigger question, though, and I'm not going to hog this whole thing, but all I'll say is just, the bigger question is, though, at what cost? So go ahead.
Well, it's not like the Rust Belt states. The Rust Belt states, when you unionized, you're required to forego a portion of your paycheck to the union, whether or not you want to or not, whether or not you signed up for the union. Signing up for the union is something that you agree to when you get the job. But in the South, typically it's going to be a right to work state where you don't have to sign up for the union. No one's going to force you to. Your paycheck, if you don't want 100% of your check, if you don't want a portion of your paycheck to go to the union, you keep 100% of it. The only thing you pay is your taxes, but that's it.
Okay,
I'm not saying the unions aren't without their flaws, because holy fucking Christ, they are. But the bigger picture, I think, is just what are companies getting away with because of that. Why are all these new operations opening up and taking advantage of that? To what point, right? So it's one thing to say, to shed sort of the past that's been established in like the Northeast, right? With the unions and you got to pay a motherfucker $75 an hour to scratch his fucking nuts and walk around the block a couple times. I get that. I get there's extremes. That's a dope job.
Yeah, I want that job. Sure.
I want that job too. No, but what I'm making an extreme example, but what I'm saying is we're at the point where the expansion is such that you do have to examine, though, at some point, right? The fucking people that do the job, there is right, regardless of how you feel about the tradition and the history of what the actual unions have done, it doesn't negate the fact that you cannot fuck over people who are the brunt of the reason you're making the fucking profits you're making in the fucking first place. These are human beings and they deserve to live a life. If you're going to work for some motherfucker and he's going to tell you what to do every single day, and you do that, you should make a living to where you can feed your family. And that's, to me, that's what the idea of America is built on, right? And at some point, go ahead.
Well, do you think that has something to do with the labor shortage that we have now, where people, you got McDonald's paying people $50 to come to the interviews, nice. But they end up paying them, minimum wage, or maybe $1 more than minimum wage.
Well, they pay them to come to the interviews.
Yes.
Yeah. There's such a labor shortage right now because of the federal thing. But see, that's the problem. So Texas and several other southern states, the right to work states, have decided to take away, to deny the federal money for unemployment.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, to balance out the labor shortage.
No. That's not balancing out the labor shortage. It's falsifying and destroying the market. So
How so?
we've discussed on several times supply and demand. The
Yeah.
demand for workers is high, which means that their rates should be increased. But instead of doing that, the federal government, no, not federal government, these state governments who are right to work states really means right for the company to rape their employee states, has basically taken away an incentive which actually was driving up labor rates because the demand for you had to pay more than the substandard rates that they're used to paying. So basically, these states, that's where union states came through. I mean, right now in California, In-N-Out Burger's paying people $19 an hour to start.
I can go for In-N-Out right now.
That's
Yeah, right? Fucking
crazy.
so good. It's a good burger. But you know what I'm saying? But these people are starting to get fucking
Goddamn,
paid.
it's okay. Yeah.
People are fucking getting paid, and people deserve to be paid. But see, you have state governments that are actually trying to decrease demand and supply in order to leverage for businesses that want to not pay their people anything.
Yeah, but it's supply and demand. So if you can't find any labor, you're going to pay people
More money,
More
which
money.
they need to be
Yeah.
paid. Exactly.
yeah.
But
So
they're not.
McDonald's,
But,
let's
but
just
the
go with
state's already
McDonald's.
done it, though. No, the states invalidated that by taking away the extra money. See, people were allowed to wait out. So, no, what we've done is we've falsified a labor pool. We've cheated millions of people from achieving a higher wage.
You know who pays money here in Texas? Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Buc-ee's gas station. Man,
yeah.
I mean, I was looking at some of their payouts. I mean, they start their employees up at $15 an hour,
Oh, yeah.
and then it just goes up from there.
But look, they're
It's
happy,
like-
right? You see those
Yeah,
guys
dude.
running around those red shirts, happy as fuck, man.
Yeah,
All
cleaning
that
the restrooms and
candy
shit.
everywhere.
I mean,
Hell yeah,
the
got
restrooms are spectacular.
Exactly. They got beaver nuggets. Shit's popping. But guess what? Everyone else is going to be let off the hook. And that's bullshit. Because and so that's why unions and states that believe in real rights for their workers are important. I mean, people keep saying like, oh, everyone's moving to Texas. No, they're moving to Texas because Texas is still allowing basically for people to live off of corporate welfare. Because corporations aren't paying people enough to live. So we still, the state of Texas, fit the bill. We still have to pay for their health care. We still have to pay for their housing. We still have to pay for everything else. But the business is going to make more money. So we're just subsidizing businesses' low wages.
Okay, I don't know about that. I mean,
is
businesses low
true.
wages. Yeah, but you're talking about your typical fast food restaurants. Those
Dude.
aren't supposed to be real career jobs. Okay, those are starter jobs that you get whenever you're looking for a quick job.
Service
okay?
industry makes up over 70% of the jobs in the United States.
All
Okay,
right.
so guess what? Those are the real jobs now. Okay, you don't have
70%?
manufacturing. Yes, manufacturing and those things have taken such a dive in the United States. The service industry is basically the jobs in the United States. That's it. So guess what? Whether that's supposed to be a starter job or not, that's the only real jobs available.
Well, I mean, hey, you know what? You don't have to work those jobs. Go get another career. Go do
Where?
something else.
Hey,
Where
but here's
the
the
majority of
thing.
the jobs are service industry.
Hey, but here's the thing too. Like, think about this. It's where supply and demand, right? So if there's a line of fucking 20 cars waiting for a fucking In-N-Out burger, if I'm working there and if I'm the one fucking cutting and flipping those burgers and, putting them on the grill, if that many motherfuckers are waiting for that burger, fuck you, pay me. Because not everybody can do it, obviously. I can do it. Just because you don't think it's a good, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't hold up to the status. If that many motherfuckers are waiting for the burger that I flip around on a fucking pan, then fuck you. Pay me $15 an hour.
Yep. But guess what?
Because they're coming. They're coming to buy that fucking burger.
But if
They're
you don't want to
making
do
money
it,
for that.
if you don't want to do it, you can leave it. They'll just hire somebody else to flip those burgers. It's a very easy job.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe,
Bro,
maybe not.
It's a motherfucker, dude. Those jobs
Maybe
are
not.
not easy.
I mean,
But-
it doesn't require. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't require.
Right, it's not skill. It
specific
doesn't
knowledge or
require
skill.
education.
Exactly.
It doesn't require. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't require an education that you have to go pay a lot of money for.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to be, honestly, I'm not really trying to be like snooty on this. But not everybody can fucking do that. Unfortunately, not everybody can fucking do that shit. So if you do, and once again, supply and demand. So if you're having to build 2 goddamn lines for your fucking drive-through, if you're having to have motherfuckers out there with iPads just so the shit can flow, right? So you have 2 motherfuckers out there at all times with raincoats, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, with iPads, just making sure this raincoats, just making sure this motherfucking family of 4 gets like no pickles, and this motherfucker wants this
nugget meals.
Right. So when you go into that kitchen, if I'm flipping those burgers, that's business. I'm making somebody money. I don't care how fucking menial you think that task is. Motherfuckers are paid whatever they build, they make at their job. They're paying their money to get whatever the fuck. I think it's all bullshit. I eat 99% of my meals at home because fuck everybody. Fuck, it's not that fucking good. I'm not gonna wait 30 goddamn minutes just to get a fucking bullshit burger I can make in the fucking microwave. So fuck you. I don't believe it. I don't know where that came from. I'm
keeping
sorry.
It real.
I'm just keeping it real. But people are waiting for that shit in their Suburbans and their Tahoes, and they're waiting around the fucking block. Because every time I want to go get mine at Whataburger, I can't, because I have to wait in a 45-minute fucking line. So fuck that. I'll make whatever I can at home. It's healthier anyway. It's better for my body. I'm not going to get cancer. But if you're in there flipping those burgers, you should be getting paid for that shit, because they're waiting around the block for your burgers that you're flipping.
Yeah, but
I don't care who running the business. I'm actually flipping them, and I'm making them hot. You can't eat them if they're raw. Yo, you can't eat them if they're raw. Somebody's got to flip them.
This is proven.
If they're waiting, that's proven.
Science.
You can't do that. If they're waiting for that shit, pay me. Or get some other motherfucker in here and pay him.
Yeah, and they will. That's the thing. They're gonna go for the lowest, lowest dollar. So,
but the state is not. But the state is basically trying to monopolize labor and keep it falsely at a low rate by doing what they're doing, which is not okay.
Well, okay. There's more people than jobs. So that's why the rate is low.
There's more jobs right now than people working them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? And so that means the labor rate should be way higher.
Well, if they remove the federal assistance, then there will be more.
But
more
they
people than jobs
shouldn't
now.
do that. The reality is that people should be paid more. And Texas is, for no reason, the federal government's giving us this money. We pay taxes every year to the federal government for these benefits. And they're just saying, no, we're not going to take it, because we want our businesses to basically pay our workers like they're slaves, and so we can get business going again. So all the rich people can just get richer, and we're just going to continue to use the poor people like the mules they are. But thank you. We're right to work state. It's bullshit, and it's a sham.
It is not a sham. It's going to be fine.
You've been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked.
You're removing you're removing, by giving people money, you're removing the incentive for them to work. Okay. I mean,
by paying people piss shit, you're removing the ability to work also. If you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll pay you $1 a day. It's bullshit. The average rent in Texas is $1,000. If you take someone making minimum wage, which is $7.50, right? I'll round it to 8 to make the math easier. That's $320 times 4.
But those are careers, though.
No, well, hold on. No. $1,280 a month minus the 15 to 17% taxes, right? Where are you at? That means that they have maybe $100 after rent. How is that a productive economy? How is that a productive society? How are they going to
Because
buy cars?
presumably that person earning $7 an hour is living with his parents because they're just teenagers out of high school trying to make money.
But doesn't
Okay.
everybody? But does everyone have parents? Does everyone have this affluency where they're going to have this opportunities? What happens if they had to leave their parents, or what happens if they're fucking orphans? Hell, what happens if they're fucking aliens? They're not going to fucking have that. All right, they're not going to have that, and to that assumption is just an assumption of affluence.
Those are starter jobs. You're not meant to make careers out of them. You're not supposed to
right,
buy
but a
house.
starter job to get you a starter apartment, and a starter apartment's $1,000.
Right. And well, here's the thing though, but those are like, yeah, traditionally speaking, those are starter jobs. But the reality of the world right now, those are jobs.
Yep.
Like there aren't the job. It's a different, I mean, I don't have any kind of statistics to
I got
get into all this,
statistics
but
for you.
I got one special statistic you might like.
Oh boy, more gay talk. All right.
But yeah, that's all we do. Let's skip
But-
the noise.
But if you
But
think about
anyway.
it, how many lawyers do you know that are managing Starbucks right now? A lot of them. Because
What?
last time I checked, there is a overglut of lawyers in the United States, especially whenever we were graduating from college and from grad school. So at one point, there were 75,000 lawyers in Houston. That was more. So the projected need in Houston was about 25,000. So you know how many friends I had that went to law school that graduated that were managing Starbucks, that were doing other
Yeah.
things? Because
Do
guess
you know
what?
how many?
That's the market.
Yeah, bro. In my industry, and once again, if you're an avid Skip the Noise listener, you probably know what I do, but I'm never gonna give it up. If you in my industry, you know how many people I meet, like regularly, that come from oil and gas, all kinds of different industries, dude. The industry I work in, the job I do, is not one that you tell your kids they want to do when they grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make a decent living, I have a whatever, but it's not a fucking, you know what I mean? This isn't like somebody,
Hey.
kids don't tell in first grade this is what they want to do for a living.
Male prostitution.
But-
just,
Exactly, dude. It doesn't pay like you think it does. You really got to get out there and hustle and do a lot of push-ups on fire hydrants, and you got to hustle, man. You got to get out in the streets. It's
you
tough.
got to be
No,
sweating. You got to get
you
You
sweaty.
got
out
to,
there.
yeah. Come on, man. You got to work. You got to work and shake that ass around to really make
Get the
that
best knee
cash.
pads you can afford. I mean, there's a
That's
lot
right.
of work.
That's right. But no, my point being though, yeah, people come from all kinds of industries with sad stories, and they end up doing what I do.
Yep.
Uh,
That's the economy. That's the reality.
you know what I mean? That's
So
what it is, bro.
if you're saying that's a starter job or an ender job, it's still a fucking job, and every job should pay at least the minimum competency to participate well in society. Period.
When those
Yeah,
jobs don't
yeah, I guess,
exist,
sure.
you know. But that's the thing, is like those jobs, like the 50s perception of how shit should work, those jobs don't exist, man. Like there's a meme, well, there's a fucking meme of like some guy, like some fucking whatever random name, like graduated in 1977, applied applied for some job, worked there for 40 years, retired. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen anymore, man. You're working at In-N-Out Burger, you're in middle management, you're somebody who's educated, maybe you went to, you know, you graduated college, bachelor's degree. Yeah, man, you're managing like 7 or 8 Citgo gas stations. You know, you're that's what
It's
it is,
real.
man. That's real. That's reality. It's not. Yeah.
And that job, that menial job or that lower section job in the 50s and 60s allowed people to buy their homes cash within 5 years and own several cars throughout their lifetime. And they got a pension at the end of it. That is where America is losing. And so it's the wages, man. It really is. It's the wages. And I understand that everyone needs to make money, but we're at this point now to where it's a self-destruction thing. But nonetheless, moving on, we have greater
we
topics.
need to take a break.
Yes, we have
We do.
greater
I think,
topics
yeah,
to
it's break
tackle.
time.
We got to
Everybody-
find out what's really going on in the water.
Oh, we got it. Yeah. So party in the back. We covered. Hey, first half, dude. We covered some real shit. I feel like maybe the last couple episodes, it was a little loose and a little fun. Yeah, 2020 can suck everybody's dick. That's straight up. Straight up. Facts. Up and down.
A little aggressive.
Wait, was that a little
harsh?
No, not everybody's. You know what though? No. You know what? For the record, there was some good things that came personally.
No, and I'm sure you fucked that up. You think it suck everyone's dick. Like you're done. You burned your bridge with 2020.
Bro, I never said that. I never said I was going to suck everyone's dick.
You said you're going to suck everyone's dick on 2020.
Bro, I didn't say
I want to suck your dick, berserker.
I didn't say everybody.
I want to make fuck, berserker.
I want to make fuck.
That's the greatest fucking movie ever.
On 2020, New Year's Eve, I want to make fuck.
I want to make fuck, berserker. I fucking love that movie, bro. Greatest fucking movie ever, dude.
You know what?
How many cock? Hope you don't suck any cock on the way to the parking lot.
37. Fuck. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Amazing. But yo, before we hit this little break, man, I want to say shout out. Before we hit this break, shout out to my boy Gil from the Mind Buzz.
I want to make
podcast.
fuck. I want to make fuck with.
God damn, we fucking. Anyway,
all right,
yo, shout out. Shut the fuck up. Shout out Mind Buzz podcast.
Shout out to make fuck. Oh fuck! I'm sorry. Okay,
can you hit this motherfucker right here?
Yeah, we're about to hit this little break. If you haven't listened yet, I'm going to be on an episode. It'll be a few weeks before that comes out, but I still think it's a great show, and I still think you should go ahead and subscribe. My boy Gil runs a great show over there at the Mind Buzz podcast. I had the pleasure of speaking. We had a great conversation, man. A couple hours, I want to say. So look forward to that. That'll be coming out. Your boy Benji, the human metaphor, was in my natural habitat. Let's just say. So it was great. I'm interested to see how that comes out. So look forward to that. But anyway, we're about to hit this break. So enjoy the illustrious tunes of whatever I choose to put in this halftime segment. And we'll see you on the other side. Break. And we are back. And as promised, we've got a glorious topic here for you. I'm going to pass the mic to Mexican Nostradamus because he's got quite an interesting theory. You know, on the Skip the Noise podcast, the time is a ticking. We're getting closer to June, which is the deadline for the 180-day disclosure where they got to come clean, man. The government, all the agencies that have been tracking this shit have got to come clean about what they got to put together a dossier about.
Dossier, I love that.
Dossier, unidentified aerial phenomenon or whatever, any kind of unexplained thing. So Ben, what's the latest on this, and what should we start with your theory, or should we start with kind of what's going on?
I think the breakdown. I think the breakdown is kind of like where we should start with. Once again, now it's flooding all the news, is all these reports now. So now it's becoming almost as if it's commonplace. And in particular articles, there's several, Navy members, Navy pilots, and even Navy brass are saying, oh no, we see shit like this every day. Yeah. Now they're saying, no, it's a daily appearance. We're seeing things that have higher technology than we have. This has come a long way in a year, guys.
Yeah.
A year ago, no one was saying shit like this. No one was even commenting that this was a real possibility. And now, we're coming on a month and 8 days until we hit disclosure on the 25th of June. The release of the new report. And all you're hearing about is now how commonplace it is that we got shit flying around, and it's far above our technological prowess, and we have no idea what it is. And so
Right.
to draw my little diagram of conspiracy, it's kind of fucking crazy that this all exploded during COVID. The coronavirus, right? A year, if you would ask somebody before the coronavirus got big, like, oh, hey, do you think Navy pilots see aliens every day? You would be committed. You would be jeered. You would be made fun of. People would say you're being stupid. Oh, let me know where ET lands. But now, a year later, mainstream media is being flooded with nothing but stories about sightings of UFOs by real military individuals. So that being said, what's the connection?
Hey, well, going back to what you just said right now about, a year ago, if you would have said Navy pilot would have seen a UFO, you would have been laughed at. Even just a few years ago, even thinking that an astronaut might have seen a flying object in space.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was calls for like some weird show on the History Channel or something. It was fringe. Yeah. It was out there. You weren't supposed to talk about it. They referred to them as Santa Claus, but people are like, whatever, man. People just want to associate aliens with NASA. But now, if you say that now again, report the same story, it's almost like, the military has been talking about this for almost a year now. I believe it. That astronauts probably do see things out in space, and it is common occurrence.
Yep.
And it's almost as if it's become mainstream now.
Right.
People have become not desensitized to it, but they're used to hearing about it now.
Right.
To the point where it causes legitimate intrigue, not ridicule.
Right, exactly. It's become legitimate. See, I think that's the key word. And the coincidence I really just keep really going back and forth in my mind is the time frame that this occurred during, which was COVID. The real cross the real cross position where the Venn diagrams all come together is this all happened with the coronavirus. How does the coronavirus basically, how are they related? Aliens and the coronavirus. Now I know people are gonna be like, whoa, this may be some wild shit. But tell me, in the last 50 years, we've had Roswell, we've had the fire in the sky incident, we've had the lights over Mexico City, we've had the lights over Phoenix, we've had all these massive events in the last 50 years. When in the last 50 years has there been this much information released, official information regarding unidentified, aerial phenomenon, been released and verified and legitimized and basically plastered all over the mainstream media? And it's been during coronavirus. So really, are they related? Is coronavirus and aliens related?
The Trump administration did sign that UAP disclosure clause into the $2.3 trillion coronavirus relief package in December of 2020.
Exactly.
Right as the coronavirus was about to ravage the world.
Right.
Yeah, why would he include that in the coronavirus relief package?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
What's up with that?
That's where you see it. That's where you were running across, is that now. Why would you include that in that bill? What the hell do aliens and coronavirus have anything to do with each other? Unless you know something that we don't know. So what if coronavirus and aliens somehow they're part of a protocol, right? What happens if alien exposure either, and this is where shit gets a little in the weeds. So if you guys want to take the trip, you could take the trip. If not, you can kind of laugh. Either fucking way, this is happening. All right,
strap in. This, keep listening.
Yeah.
If not,
strap in. We're going to Wally World, and if you like it, get off and ride the big moose. So,
sorry, kids. The park is closed today.
The park is closed today. Yeah,
we're not. We might tie the dog to the bumper. So
that's right. The Wally World's closed. We're on our own adventure now. Yeah. So at your own risk, proceed.
But you see what I'm saying? What happens if it's just protocol for disclosure? What happens if coronavirus, whether it was released or accidentally given or accidentally escaped a lab, is actually alien DNA? Or vice versa. Once disclosure was imminent, coronavirus was released to prepare us for the disclosure event. What happens if aliens actually and if you think about it, if you have highly advanced civilizations, the only thing that can really kill most things is disease or viruses or things that could wipe them out. Well, what happens if we're being inoculated for their visit?
Dude. Well, here to back you up. So look at how the information was released. Okay. It's Project Blue Book, right? Where it's basically like, ain't shit happening. 1960, whatever. Up until all of a sudden, a couple of years ago, or even most recently, okay, information is being deliberately let out because for so many years, the whole time we've talked about this on the show before, the whole time we were growing up, man, you had to listen to all these fringe. You listen to Coast to Coast, you listen to Art Bell, you listen to all these things. None of them taken seriously. And not only that, took it a step further, mocked by the mainstream media.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Mocked. And when I say mocked, I really mean mocked. Like anytime you brought up any kind of the phenomena whatsoever, it got associated with little green men, blah blah blah, like to dismiss it.
I mean, even Tom DeLonge, who quit Blink-182 and went on to full U.S. full research. You're like, man, what an idiot! What's wrong with him? But now you're like, huh?
Hey, wait a minute, he was onto something, right? Because there was something there the entire time, right? It was just a matter of how it got categorized and sensationalized by how it was being presented to the public. And now all of a sudden there's this deliberate effort to present it and to legitimize it. Fuck, it was tacked on, like you just said, it was tacked on to the fucking stimulus bill in December.
Well, what happens if it's just disclosure protocol?
That's what I agree with you, dude. I think it's all of a sudden like, okay, we're about to pull this shit out. These are the steps we have to take. We have to sort of get the public prepared. That's why these things are getting released strategically.
And the vaccine pressure we were just talking about.
It's the vaccine pressure. So what's that relation?
Global scale.
Is that part of the we'll see, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we're right here. We're fucking weeks away at this point.
Yep.
Think about what just came out in the news. In the news, the mainstream media news, we just saw an unidentified triangle in the sky that was filmed by the United States military and was released to the world.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about it.
Yeah, they don't.
We're in 2021. You think this would have been possible like in the 90s or early
covered
2000s?
That shit would have been buried, bro.
Yes,
dude. Buried.
Yep.
They don't have to. Even now, they don't have. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's all right.
Even now, they don't have. That's my whole point. They don't have to release any of this shit. They could they're the fucking government. They're the military. They could easily bury any of this shit. They're making the fucking conscious choice to release the fucking footage. They're walking Jeremy Corbell, these guys, these you know what I mean? These figures that have emerged in this whole thing. They're giving them credibility. They're legitimizing them. These motherfuckers would have been
they would have gotten Clinton, dude. Yeah, they would have gotten Clinton.
Yeah,
for real.
like in the 80s and 90s, Jeremy Corbell would have been fucking. No shout out to Jeremy Corbell. This dude, like, I'm big up. This guy does the fucking Lord's work in this movement. So no disrespect, but what I'm saying, like in the 90s, dude would have been buried. You know what I mean? They would have found somebody to like, oh, I don't know. All of a sudden he got hit by a car. He was walking
suicided or some shit.
Yeah, he was by himself on the fucking freeway at 2:00 in the morning. I don't know what happened, but he ran over.
He shot himself in the back of the head.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
With 2 guns.
For sure.
2 bullets in the back of the head. He shot himself.
And then stabbed himself right after he shot himself to make sure he was
right, exactly, dude. And then he exploded. He was fucking lit on fire. I don't know how he did that, but
this guy's a madman. Just a madman. He really wanted to die.
Somehow he was fucking incinerated. I don't know how he did that,
but y'all see what's going on here. And then the more crazy parallel to this phenomenon is the fact that it's coming from the oceans, right? All these people are saying, yeah, we're seeing shit come up from the water quite a bit. What the fuck does that mean? What's happening? You know, is something else going on down there?
Well, here's the thing, Ben. You mentioned this in the text, and obviously, man, all kinds of speculation about this. It could be, I mean, we're about to find out some shit, and this could be anything, man. The nature of this is something, it's not something it is something that we've talked about on the show quite a bit and speculated. Hey, what if they're interdimensional? What if, obviously, there's the sort of basic standpoint that they're just literally traveling from some other place. Or what if the fact they're here? What if they're Earthlings, bro? What if they're literally another species that's been existing on the Earth right alongside us the entire time, but they're too advanced for us, and they were able to hide themselves, and maybe now is the time that they're emerging. Maybe they're living under the fucking ocean the entire time. We don't know, man. There's not a whole lot of the ocean that we do know. The percentage that we do know of the ocean is very small. You know what I mean? It's a big ass ocean. What is the world? 3/4 water?
Something like that. It's a blue planet.
It's a fucking blue ass planet, and that ocean's pretty fucking deep. So the amount of ocean that we actually know about and can report on and can have scientific evidence of is very small. So you know what I mean? Like, that's not out of the fucking question at all.
But my question is, to what end, man? Like, what's the point of releasing all this?
Because I think they had to.
It's inevitable.
The protocol, something tripped out the protocol. I keep going back to coronavirus because maybe that this was what was supposed to be given to us before disclosure or after disclosure somehow, or maybe the aliens are maybe, and I even go as far as saying maybe not aliens. Maybe these guys are like Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, fucking spoiler alert, fuck faces. This shit came out like 15 years ago, but in the end, they crash land on a planet after escaping the Cylons. And they're basically on a planet with rudimentary cave-like men people, but they came in like, a badass spaceship and settled on this planet, which they, of course, you find out is Earth. So maybe they are this ancient civilization that actually existed here, still is here, or maybe the remnants of what they had is here. So like, they're drones, they're robots, but they were so much more technologically advanced than we are. Maybe that's why they never communicated, because all they've just had is drones doing their patrols.
Yeah, but don't you watch the news or TV and they're like, man, these are fucking assholes, man. They're fighting over an old ass city. I mean,
right? They're just like, oh fucking shit. These guys, oh god, you guys. Oh man, god damn it!
They're still fighting over the color of their skin. Jesus.
Right? I mean, we don't really have colored skins. Right? We have gills now. They're gonna fucking work. Right. We're gonna murk them for their gills.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, right. They're worried about all that trivial bullshit. But here's the thing too, like with as far as the aggressiveness of the reporting and the legitimacy of the reporting this isn't coming from, I mean, it's obviously coming from Skip the Noise podcast. I'm just saying, for real. But yes, it's also Fox News and also CNN and also some of these other motherfuckers. They're reporting on this bullshit too. But the difference is it's a deliberate. So what I think is there's a deliberate angle to this to control the narrative, because something happened, I think, Here's this is the old Benji's little take on the subject.
All
So
right.
if we go back to like 2017, I think that a few things happened that were absolutely undeniable, that there was no turning back. There was no denying this shit. There was a concerted effort to make sure that, okay, if this is going to happen, eventually the public is going to be fully aware of what's going on. I think we need to get ahead of this and control the narrative. And that's what I think you're seeing. And to Ben's point, that could be where the fucking coronavirus comes in, which, yeah, you get into a little bit of debatable territory there, and a little bit of a sketchiness and some pseudoscience or whatever, or conspiracy theory, whatever you want to deem that. But yeah, honestly, man, fuck, I'll just go on record, man. The whole shit, the fucking reason 2020 got crazy and all fucked, a lot of it could be due to what we're about to witness in the summer of 2021, dude.
Yep.
I don't think you can downplay that shit. I think dude.
You know what? I think
you heard it on Skip the Night, bro. We're about to find out
Yeah.
some fucking shit, dude.
I've
been thinking this shit for years.
What I think really happened was the advent of everyone has a fucking phone and a camera.
Yeah.
But you're right,
Right.
Benjamin. I think
no,
you're
it's
right.
true.
They want to
That's
control
true.
the narrative.
Yep.
They're like,
Yeah.
everyone has a phone and a camera, even our soldiers, even the people flying the planes out there. They're going to film this shit and it's going to go out. Let's just start rolling with it and
Let's get ahead
controlling
of
the
it.
narrative. Yeah, get ahead of
Yeah.
it before people start asking some real questions and coming up with their own bullshit. I mean, that could be it too. The advent that everybody has a camera now.
Or maybe they just fucking said enough is enough, or the government just can't hide it anymore. Maybe there's just an event that's coming up. I mean, you have to ask yourself, if there's been aliens around since Ezekiel's wheel, right? Since the Bible, if there's been aerial phenomena that we've seen throughout time, you have to kind of ask yourself what the whole purpose of what we're here for. Why have they waited? What is the time frame? What's going on? And you start really kind of thinking like, what's our purpose for them that they've been visiting that long? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we? Are we there? Are we going to be their cattle? Are we going to be their? Are we going to be their weapon? I mean, you
cattle.
Put a bunch of shitheads on a planet, and then give them different religions, give them different languages. I mean, basically the Tower of Babel.
Yes, terrible.
And then what do you make? You just iron sharpens iron. And that's what we've become. We've become this super race of disassociated technocrats that basically watch death every second. And we're all able to destroy everything else. It's kind of like we are their weapons. Who knows? Maybe we're the ones that, we're the bad guys of the universe. We just don't know it yet. But something's happening.
Even like the alternate universe in Star Trek?
Kind of. I mean, we are the bad guys. I mean, maybe we're the ones that whenever our alien overlords come and say, hey guys, look, you got one purpose and one purpose only. You know what it is.
Nice.
We just go and fucking wreck havoc,
We just
Bricks
Bricks
is murking people with his Confederate flag mask. I mean, it's gonna be
with my MAGA
it's
hat.
gonna be nuts, man. With a MAGA hat, they're gonna be like,
running him over with his big
Nice.
old Trump truck.
I don't want to make America great again. And Rick's like, make it great, using like a chainsaw. He doesn't even have not even using the laser guns. He's not even using the laser guns they give him.
that's
He
what
just
pussies.
uses a chainsaw, like fucking gangster.
And a shotgun.
Exactly. And fucking, dude, going alien style, just working people. I mean, but either way, there's got to be something going on. There's got to be a purpose, or there's just technology that's so advanced that we really are all so in the dark about what our government's doing. I mean, there's so many possibilities, but no matter what it is, We're gonna learn some wild shit the next couple of months, guys.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a lot of UAP activity in Mexico City. I don't know if you remember that.
Tons of
Yeah,
it.
for
That's what I'm
sure.
saying. The lights over Mexico City, they were
Dude.
like fucking spooky.
Well, no, not even the lights at night, dude. I mean, in plain daytime.
Oh
You
yeah.
saw these formations of UAPs just all over Mexico City.
Yep. And guess
Uh,
what?
Dude, check this out. Back in
Anybody
like,
talk
the
about it?
fucking, hell yeah, dude. The early 2000s, dude. Art Bell was talking about. He's like, I don't know exactly what it is, but like in the ionosphere, and dude was like way up on shortwave like radio. So knowing like, hey, something's fucked up with like these frequencies, and I can't speak to it intelligently. I'm not a huge like radio guy, but like even like back then it was saying like, dude, something's like all of a sudden like something's real fucked up with these you know what I'm saying, like the ionosphere. Like these things aren't bouncing back the way they're supposed to be. So but dude, that's a whole nother set of topic. Like there's so many fucking little minuscule variables that we're not even taking into account. Or you know, talking about these, like how these things move or whatever. I forgot. Fuck. I wish I had written it down. There's some author wrote a book, like this, basically this whole like energy grid work throughout the entire Earth, where like these things,
the
supposedly-
Nomsky lines or the Praline lines.
yeah, dude, where these things can, you know, travel or what have you. So, yeah, there. I mean, it's not even. There's so many variables, like I said, that we're not even
Oh yeah.
getting to yet that you know, could come into play here pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, and so here we are. We're here at a crux that no one thought was really possible. If you had asked UFO people a couple of years ago, do you think this was going to happen? They would even look at you like, no, the government's never going to do that.
No,
And they're doing it.
they're doing it
Every
and
day.
They're enforcing it. Like
And they're legitimizing
that's
it.
what's fucked up. Like is they're actually, so here we go. Let's play chess here and not checkers.
Ooh, I like that.
I want to play Connect 4.
Fuck yeah.
What Connect 4?
Or
That's
Mahjong.
Battleship. Yeah, Mahjong, bro. Hey, I like that.
Yeah, I got
Wow.
this down.
Mahjong. Yeah,
bro.
man. I need to start playing some Mahjong. Anyway,
Dude.
335
million. Oh, anyways, sorry.
yeah.
That
big
shit's
time,
super
big time.
complicated.
No, not at all. But I mean, no, it is. But yeah, I mean, by all means. But I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, the fact that they're once again controlling the narrative, right, is so sort of out of the expectation just very recently that this sort of should heighten our skepticism of how this information comes out. So, mind you, as much as we want this shit to come out, okay, we all want to know what the news is. That doesn't mean to let your guard down. You still have to take this with a grain of salt, because what they're going to tell us or what information they're going to release could depend on a lot of things. And what they release could, obviously it's going to have a certain impact, right? But it's under their control, and they've already established that. People like us, the three of us that are into this shit and want to hear it, we still, mind you, have to be skeptical of what's coming out, even though it looks like we're making progress, right? Like, hey, we're right there, man. We've been asking for disclosure. Because of that, I'm still saying, be wary and be, just keep your mind open to what's going on, or factor in the fact that they do want to control the narrative and they do want to control the public. They've been controlling the public in a way that they haven't been controlling the public in a very long amount of time, the way they did in 2020. So anyway, It's just kind of all crazy that this is coming together in the same time. Never more. And I guess my final point on that is like, never has there been a time where the public was controlled by the spoken word of either the government, the media, what have you, the CDC, the president, or whatever. It's been a long time since they've been able to sort of get away with that. You know, like wear a mask, don't wear a mask, get a vaccine, don't get vaccine, whatever the fuck you want to say in this last, 52 weeks cycle, or maybe whatever, 60, I don't know, 67 weeks, whatever the fuck we're at now, since spring break of last year when this shit all popped off in a real way. Be very careful with the next phase, because it ain't over. It's not just because we're gonna take the masks off now everybody's home free. The shit's still going on, so be very careful. Still be very skeptical of the information that's coming out, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, of course, man. It's the government. Hey, man, what are you gonna do? They've done this before, they'll do it again. So
yep. So just but all I gotta say is buckle up, Buttercup. Something's about to happen. And the big thing is we just gotta this is an exciting time. So and also a big fuck you to all the people that just rode people for believing in a different narrative. There's a lot of people that talk shit to anyone who talked about UFOs, and you're stupid, you're dumb. But in the end, this is really going to happen, and something's going to happen, whether it be aliens or just massive technology burst. Something's going to happen, and we're all going to watch it, and we're all going to witness it. And this is an amazing time, guys. So look, everybody, you know what? Keep your feet on the ground, but definitely keep looking up at the skies, because something's going to happen. And this world's about to change, ladies and gentlemen. So just be excited for that, man. It's good things.
Keep your minds limber, because you never know, the world's changing.
Keep your minds limber, because I'm gonna
keep your minds limber. Fuck it.
This is a bit
definitely. It's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
But definitely listen to my boy Gil on the Mind Buzz. It's a good podcast. That's my recommendation for the week. But other than that, guys, if you got any final thoughts or anything like that, other than that, I think we'll probably kind of wrap to close this one out. Anybody got anything? Rick, Ben?
No.
Anything to say before we shut it down?
I just hope the aliens don't fuck us all. That's all.
I hope. Yeah, I hope so.
I hope
too,
the
man.
probing isn't just something they like to do. That's what I'm hoping for.
Right. Exactly. We'll keep our ass cheeks clenched, as should you, for the oncoming assault that may occur here pretty soon. But anyway, like I said, man, keep your minds all lubed up and limber, because you never know what's going to happen, man. Week to week, it's a whole new world, buddy. So take care, and we will see you next week. If
keep
it
real,
God
represent.
Willing, keep it real, represent, and tune into the next episode. But once again, we appreciate all the support and love, and we will see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
This